So, once again, as always, I was right about the elections. 100%. I have a perfect score at this point. The last, maybe 20 years. Perfect score. Even when it looks like I have to be wrong. So last election, it was kind of weird though. I was like, what the heck does that mean? Last year, my pendulum, yes, I'm using a pendulum. It's a tool for using your intuition. I'll explain pendulums in another. It's a tool for using your intuition, okay? Let's just put it that way, okay? So basically, I asked, let's see, I said, Trump's going to win. Yes. So Biden's going to lose. No. Okay, Biden's going to win. Yes. So Trump's going to lose. No. What the heck did that mean? Well, I think we saw what that meant. He won, but he lost. Trump won, but he lost. But he won. They both were winners, and they both were losers. It's very odd. And my intuition kept saying, embrace duality, embrace the fact that two mutually exclusive seeming things can both be true in the world in which you are living. So I'm like, okay, but we saw how it played out. And this makes me even more sure that there was shenanigans in the last election. But we're not allowed to say that. So forget I said that. But this election, it looked different. It looked like, yeah, some shenanigans would be attempted. And sure enough, it did look like that. About 1:30, 2 o'clock, something like that, when everything just froze and they weren't getting like some of the last few votes in from certain swing states like Pennsylvania or something. They weren't calling it because they had like 98% of the votes in, but that last 2% wasn't coming in from, one of the major states. And it was like things were just freezing up. And I'm sitting there and I'm going, they're trying to figure out what they can do about this. And there's nothing they can do about this. There is nothing they can do. And honestly, somebody else said it too. The map did look like a bloodbath. It was red, red, red. There were a few blue places, but it was red. And overwhelmingly so. And to the point where I guess they were sitting there pausing, having a meltdown, trying to figure out how many, dead voters they could bring to the game. Come on, I'm a comedian. I have to make these jokes, okay? It's in my contract somewhere that I have to make these jokes, so don't get me in trouble for that, because it's my job, okay? Because otherwise, I happen to be a woman and a minority. I'm a poor person. I'm actually a rich person, and you should be respecting that and giving me The banks don't respect that, though. They're not respecting my pronouns. That's true. That's true. Actually, sometimes my subconscious just comes along and hands me one of these, right? My subconscious has a sense of humor. Just kind of, it is a program, right? Pronouns are a program. They are. So we'll discuss that maybe in another video. But, just because I go in and say, hey, I'm rich, does that mean that they have to kiss my patootie because I'm rich? But maybe we should try it. I don't know. Or maybe we should try, if you're poor, I would say, come in through our southern border. Get rid of your ID, come in through our southern border. Do it quickly. You've only got another couple of months to do that, maybe. You get everything you need, But, how did they think this was going to turn out? You know what? I'll tell you why. Why they thought it was going to turn out different is they are so disconnected, man, from reality. They're so divorced from reality, from the common everyday things that regular people go through. They're just that distant from it. There was one guy that comes on and he's like, so what if you have to pay $1.50 more for a loaf of bread? Is that worth collapsing democracy? It's something like that. And it's like, and then we had Brucey Springsteen, right? Brucey Springsteen, the boss. And he's, up there and he's singing, moving his old dusty ass around, thinking he's going to get some women that way, I guess. I don't know, women voters. I'm sorry, dude, but it's over. It's just over. It's okay. You're old. You're allowed to look old. It's okay, dude, but, don't think you're gonna sit there with your money, stand there with your money up in front of a mic talking about, I'm burning this Thomas to death. It's like, no, you're not. You're freaking rich off of us. Come on. Do you think we're really gonna believe that? You know what? That's the thing. I'm gonna make a little video about that. We value in this country authenticity. I think it's not just this country. I think in a lot of parts of the world we value authenticity. How authentic can you be with all your millions? How much did you give to the survivors of Helene? Did you do a concert for them, boss? No. You did a concert for a woman who could give a shit, care less, didn't care. No, didn't really care. Didn't care about Florida. Didn't care about North Carolina. Didn't care about anything. Didn't care about nothing. Didn't care. Until there was like the political opportunity to act like she cared, called DeSantis, and he'd already got it worked out with Joe. Oddly enough, her boss, the one that's, they say is president right now, this moment, not her. How disappointed she was that DeSantis didn't wait around until she got elected to deal with her. Talk about missing the boat. And then I gotta say, I feel sorry for some of the people who are having emotional breakdowns and what we call in the cards in tarot, tower moments, huge tower moments, okay? There are some people who are definitely having tower moments today, and they need to. They really need to, because they have not been paying attention. I hope this is a wake up. I really do. I hope this is a wake up for them. I hope that you wake up. I really do, because you're Americans too. And we can, some of us laugh at them, and I must admit that some of them were really, really very laughable. But they're Americans, and they obviously just don't get it. Obviously. And they look down on everybody else, trying to say we're just uneducated and blah, blah, blah. I hate to tell you, I went to college. I'm a talented person. I'm a learned person. I probably read more books than you did, growing up. I probably am better educated than you. But I did not vote for 4 more years of Clown World, because I'm too freaking smart for that. And Gen Z, I think they kind of pulled it out too, because Gen Z is used to being cheated. They're used to people lying to them. It's very obvious to them that people lie. The corporations especially going to lie to you to get you to do what they want you to do. So they're not just taking it the way that it's presented to them either, a lot of them. A lot of them are saying, yeah, but is that really the truth? They have a tendency to be suspicious, more suspicious. Yeah, I've seen them be suspicious. And well, they should be, after what they've lived through. The ones who managed to do the work to find out about what went on the last few years, they're going to be suspicious probably for the rest of their lives. But we're seeing classic projection, the pot's calling the kettle black, so to speak, and I'm not going to, like I said, I'm not going to downplay it. Some of these people really think the world is ending. But let me give you hope. If you run across this, the world is not ending because of this. It's just beginning. Democracy, maybe it is dying. We never had a democratic system anyway. It's always been a republic, darling. You should have done your research better. We never had a democracy. We didn't want a democracy. Democracy is mob rule. We don't want that. We don't really want that. As long as the Democrats seem to be for the working people, yeah, that was fine. But as soon as not, as soon as they weren't, as soon as people realized these are a bunch of elitist snobs, people who are really out of touch. They've got to be vastly out of touch. I mean, obviously they're not struggling to feed their families. They're not, they're flying around in private jets that consume more than we do in a year in gasoline, for one trip. Obviously, they're out of touch, way out of touch, right? Way, way, way out of touch. And that's what did it. That, and I've got to say, that, and I think really they angered the Amish of all people. They angered the Amish. And Yoder is from around here. He's got a channel. He was warning us the Amish were coming out in droves. because they rattled the cages of the Amish. And the Amish never vote, but they did this time. And you know what? When they do something, they do it as a group. They do it all together, all of them, like a swarm of ants, you know? And they were on those poles like a swarm of, actually like a swarm of angry hornets, they were, because they closed down a great big Amish farm that was helping a lot of people. In their estimation, that is an attack. That means war. I'm sorry, you know. And they're right about that. They really were making war on the farmers. That's what it amounts to, what is happening. I know farmers that are having a heck of a time. And without farmers, what do we got? You know, and with rich elites buying up all the farmland, you know, with Hunger Games in mind, I'm sure that would be great, right? You could make a lot of money that way. So, you know, that's just my opinion. Heck yeah. If you don't have any heart and you don't have any skin in the matter, then it would look like, you know, take your Monopoly money, your printed out Monopoly money, and buy a whole bunch of farmland, because that's going to be what people are going to need. I mean, everybody's got to eat right now, except the breatharians, right? But we'll talk about breatharians in another video maybe. But yeah, it's like, yeah, oh yeah, that would be the thing to do if you're playing Monopoly. But this is our lives, okay? This is our lives. We didn't take it kindly. No. We didn't take it well, all of this manipulation. And that's just part of it. I haven't even gone into the amount of Big Brotherness, the amount of 1984-ness, the amount of George Orwellian BS we've had to wade through, and my channel and others not being able to say what we want to say, having to carefully tiptoe around what we want to say in order to avoid being kicked off our channels. So, you know, many people dealing with that. I fortunately went for comedy. I hope I'm being funny enough for you. But yeah, I make a lot of jokes, so I get to say, hey, it's comedy, it's farce, it's, you know. You don't have to take any of it seriously. I am not a serious reporter, not at all. No. I'm a shamanic practitioner. I'm a psychic, I'm a clairvoyant, I'm a, you know, I'm not a political pundit of any kind. However, I can predict elections pretty damn well, and I wish I had the money to bet on it. I only wish I had some spare money to bet on it, because I probably would have been rich by today, right? Because there were so many people in the media, that are today, that are going, how did it happen? How did it happen? It's like, dude, I predicted this years ago, the first time, when the first one, when like all the way back when that pendulum told me that they were both going to win and they were both going to lose. And the results of that, I said, nope, because I know he was going to get 2 terms. And if he didn't get it now, that meant he was going to run again. And even though he didn't want to, he said he didn't want to run. He didn't want to. Well, yeah, after the way he was treated at the end there, I don't know how anybody would really want to. But he said he felt like he had to. But see, that resonates with the American people. We do a lot of things because we have to, because we feel like we have to, because it's for the greater good. That's what he felt. He felt he was acting in the greater good. Is it making him any money? You can say what you want, but is it really making him any money? He donated all of his presidential, Trump donated all of the presidential pay to charity. He doesn't need your money. He doesn't need it. He's got money. He's got enough for all his life and all his kids' lives and all his grandkids' lives. You know? He's got an empire. He doesn't have to worry about that shit, which makes him very dangerous. Because if he thinks for himself and he's rich, uh-oh. But that's what we like about him. And Elon, he decides, you know, that's another thing. Elon on the team, another rich guy who has decided that he's going to think for himself, and he doesn't care that advertisers are pulling out of his platform because he's filthy rich and doesn't really give a damn. And apparently, neither he nor Trump were Epstein guys, nor were they Diddy guys. Or they'd be concerned right now, wouldn't they? There's like, I think, one picture of Trump with Epstein, like really, really early on, like very young Epstein. One or two, maybe. And that doesn't mean that his name was on the list of people who went there. That just means they're mingling around at a party and you can get your picture snapped with just about anybody at a party, you know, so, or some event. So that means absolutely nothing as far as I'm concerned. Show me something real. But if his name was on there, we know that it would have been front page news, right? That his name was on there. But they couldn't prove that. And they couldn't prove that because they couldn't show you. And they couldn't show you because then you'd see everybody who was really on there. They couldn't show you because it didn't exist. Either A, he was never on there, or, well, I guess it could be an alternative dimension. See? It could be a Mandela effect, right? Come on. So once again, right on target, me, the shaman who knows. And I'm also telling you one other thing that I hope that you find heartening. I see a bright future. A lot of people are saying, oh, don't think it's going to be any better. Don't think it's going to be, you know, unfortunately, a lot of people in my field have a lot of TDS still left in them. You know, it's going to take them a while to recover. So we are going to have to put aside a bit of energy to send to them to get well. Maybe we should send them all get well cards. All of these liberals, all of these Democrats, maybe we should send them get well cards. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave it right there. Yeah, but just remember, truth is where you find it. And it sure seems like you can find it on my channel, doesn't it? Yeah, it sure does seem like that. So this is Ocean Making Waves. The ocean's deep woo, where we do the deepest of woo. And sometimes even political predictions. Although that's not the gist of my show. Okay. Cheer up. It's going to get better. And there will be a video where I talk about that a little more in depth. Congratulations, all of you who were wise enough, fed up enough, smart enough, and brave enough to support the side that where you have a chance of a bright future, of a restored republic. I'm going to take some heat for this. I know it. Who cares? I don't need you. Okay? I will make my way. I will stand on the truth and make my way somehow and draw people to me that go for that. That's fun. See ya next time.